could produce coastal flooding, and freezing rain has been falling in North Carolina. Governors of 7 states have declared a state of emergency, warning drivers to stay off of the roadways. Holiday travelers are stranded across the country following the closures of airports in Washington, D.C. and Baltimore. The National Guard is out patrolling highways in New Jersey looking for any signs of trouble on the roadway. The increased presence in New York and Washington, as far as security goes, is not the result of any specific threat to the region. That's according to Homeland Security Secretary Tom Ridge. During an appearance on CNN's Late Edition, Ridge explained the beefed-up security measures in the areas.
The concern we will continue to have about Washington, D.C. in New York is predicated on our notion that terrorists have a tendency, we believe, particularly Al-Qaeda, to return again to where they've struck before.
For now, Ridge says the national color-coded threat level will remain where it is at its second highest level of orange. He admitted, however, that the situation could change within the next 24 to 48 hours. War may be necessary, but not at this point. That is the opinion of European Union Foreign Policy Chief Javier Solana. He made the comments before the EU's emergency summit on the crisis in Iraq. Solana says he hopes inspectors keep on working before supporting a U.S.-led attack against Saddam Hussein. The EU is just as divided as the UN and NATO. Britain and Spain support the Bush administration's tough stance, while France and Germany fiercely oppose a rush towards war. With the focus on Iraq as of late, Senator John McCain of Arizona says it's important not to forget that a national nuclear crisis is taking place on the Korean Peninsula at the same time.
And I think we should explore every option, recognizing this is a crisis, rule out no option.
During an interview on Fox News Sunday, McCain says it is in no one's best interest to have a nuclear-armed North Korea. He says, however, that the U.S. should not rush to take action against the communist state. Instead, McCain says great care should go into the decision-making process, as conflict in North Korea could have an adverse impact on the entire region. The search for space shuttle debris in East Texas becoming a race against nature. Crews from across the country are converging on dense forests this week to recover pieces of Columbia before the spring foliage makes the job even harder. A forest ranger says the goal is to cover 120 square miles in the next 30 to 40 days. The intense search for the remains of astronauts has ended, and the search crews now are combing new areas for debris and collecting material that has already been marked. Divers will continue searching a huge lake on the Texas-Louisiana border, where NASA thinks some debris may have landed. This Imus in the Morning business report is brought to you by the New York Stock Exchange. The New York Stock Exchange will be closed today in honor of President's Day. On Friday, stocks rebounded on the heels of rising tension between the United States and Iraq. The Dow Jones Industrial Average added 159 points to 79.09. The S&P 500 climbed 18 points to 835, and the NASDAQ jumped 33 points to 1310. The New York Stock Exchange Composite closed at 4729.74. That is up 76.49 points. A weekend of worldwide anti-war demonstrations helped to drive the price of gold to its lowest level in nearly 7 weeks. The precious metal, often seen as a safe investment, fell to $342 an ounce. Imus in the Morning news time is 9 minutes past the hour.
We're talking with Terry Bradshaw from Fox Sports, and I was talking to Terry. I agree with John Madden. They had John Madden, Phil Simms, Terry Bradshaw, and the enormous Chris Berman on ESPN's halftime show last night, that it is a great way to start the football season, whether you're a dyed-in-the-wool football, rabid football fan or casual fan as we are. And that was to have this big concert in Times Square.
Fun.
With a dreadful John Bon Jovi. My wife walks in, I'm watching this, she says, well, what is it? Well, what is with him? I said, it's John Bon Jovi. I said, it's an 80s hair band deal, and
right.
They had a couple of pretty good records, but other than that, he's nice.
I like Bon Jovi. Yeah, not everybody shares that view. Yeah, I like Bon Jovi. What's up with him? Yeah, I mean, Bon Jovi's traveling around the world in his big old bombardier jet. And
I see it out there. He's got a G4.
Yes,
and
I've seen it.
G4? It has his name painted on the side of it, which is very tedious.
What do you have painted on your
nothing.
G4?
Nothing. Anyway, we're going to talk a little football, first of all, or ask some questions.
First, to go ahead and to support what you said, you're exactly right.
Yeah.
I thought that the Thursday night thing was great for America based on September the 11th, and bringing him back to New York City, I thought it rejuvenated everyone's interest in football. If you've been watching baseball, if you've been going through that potential strike thing,
You know, baseball strikes, they're history forever. They're almost history now.
God, I was as disappointed when they settled the baseball thing as I was when they acquitted O.J. Simpson. Really, I was going out to the ranch. I walked in, and somebody said to me, they settled the baseball thing. I thought, oh man, because there's just no reason to play baseball.
Well, they're thrilled in Montreal that they settled that thing because they had 2,000 people show up yesterday for the game.
Tom and Terry Bradshaw. So I sort of finished and I thought about. So John Madden was right, but let me say something about the ESPN pregame show. I realize it doesn't affect you, but so Sterling Sharp and Tom Jackson, shut up, both of them. Let Bill Parcells talk. If you're going to have Bill Parcells is great, you guys should have hired him.
Parcells?
Yeah, because he's funny. Did you know he's funny? Parcells?
Been around him, yeah. I guess, yeah. It's funny, witty, it's a witty.
Don Rickles funny if he wants to be.
Yeah.
He's got an attitude because he thinks he's Vince Lombardi, which he's not.
No.
But he was a great football coach. He's a good friend of Mike Francesa. You know Mike, right?
Yeah.
Obviously. But I'm watching. I'm thinking, man, it's great you got Parcells. I'll let him talk. Concussions there, Terry.
Too many concussions.
I mean, it's just there's
What do you want me to say here?
Well, no, nothing.
Oh, you're
just agree with me. So when you
Okay,
meet these people, that you have to then explain what you meant. So
I agree with you. I don't watch their show, obviously.
Madden said that not to dismiss the New England Patriots.
How can you? I mean,
Well, I don't know.
I mean, they're the defending world champions. They play great defense. Defense definitely wins. That's a coach in Belichick that will do he'll do what it takes to win. He'll run the ball. He'll play smart offensively, but he'll play great defense. And they've got that new stadium up there. I don't think you can dismiss him at all.
Let me ask you this. You said Belichick will do what's necessary.
Right.
That is run the ball and play defense.
Right.
There's one other option, that would be to pass the ball as well.
He can do that.
Okay.
He can do that.
So what choices does he have other than those
No,
three?
what I'm saying
to
is
run the ball,
so many people.
pass it,
Now, all right,
or play
now,
defense.
well, you are a casual fan, so now I have to explain this.
Well, I think
Charles
the
understands.
criticism of this is unnecessary and reveals a certain ignorance on your part.
Well, go ahead. Now, he's not talking to me. He's talking to you, so look at him when he talks. I'm not the one he's talking about. He's talking about you.
Oh, fine, okay.
Ignorance, you automatically look my way.
No, I
I'm
didn't.
offended by that.
I looked to see.
I'm not sitting in here with a cowboy belt on, wearing a Glock pistol and a belt buckle that weighs 45 pounds. I'm a stud on it.
I look to you. I look to you to see if you agree with Charles that I'm a moron. Apparently you do.
No. You cannot do this show and be a moron. That I have the utmost respect
yes, you
for.
can.
Because the point is, so many people, so many coaches. Mike Martz, offensive genius,
Rams, yeah.
a guy that says, I'm going to stick this passing game. Everyone says the greatest passing game we've ever seen, going to drive it down your throat, knows that if you go in and play New England, that they were tied for the league in points off of turnovers with 17 points a game. That's how they were winning football games, creating turnovers. Don't turn the ball over. You have Marshall Faulk, the league's best all-around player, one of the best rushers in the league. Run the football. You have a great defense. Play great defense. You've got a passing attack, but play it smart. Got in there, throw. We all love it. 2 interceptions, touchdown. Boom, there's 14 points right there. And then New England wins this thing doing what they had to do, which was don't turn the ball over, run the football, play conservative, and then at the very end, remember when they had 3rd and long at the 4th quarter with just a few seconds left, and I thought they'll punt it, and they'll go into overtime, right? Gamble threw the football down the field, 1st down, went down, kicked the field goal, won the game. Brilliant. So he does what he has to do. Great defense, run, control the clock, but he certainly can throw the football. So it's next week, maybe it's throw it 50 times. He'll do what he has to do, and I admire that.
Okay, I apologize for
now, do you see the point that he was trying to do?
I apologize.
Because I know you can either run it, throw it, tackle it, kick it,
that was stupid.
catch it.
That was stupid.
Not stupid. That's not a good. Don't use stupid.
Okay, we're here in New York, and the
know.
Jets look. I saw them play a couple of times in the preseason, and they look very good.
Yep.
Don't they?
I don't know. I don't watch preseason games, so but the Jets are good. The Jets are good.
But you're supposed. Why?
No, I don't watch preseason games.
Okay. Do you think they're going to do it well this year?
I think they're going to do it well.
Okay.
What is that?
When the Giants better last night, you thought they were going to be?
Are you a Giants or Jets fan?
Neither one.
Neither one.
I'm a Redskins fan.
Oh, really?
Yeah. This year.
Yeah, the Jets are going to be good.
Oh, you know who? I'm actually a Tampa Bay fan.
Now make your mind up.
Well, I just decided I'm a Tampa Bay fan because I like.
You know what's amazing about Tampa, about the Miami Dolphins television market? The Fox affiliate in Orlando carries the Orlando station carries the Dolphins, right?
Right.
But since Spurrier is opening up Washington, they're now carrying the Washington game and blowing off the Dolphins.
Oh, wow,
Says a lot about Spurrier.
I love that.
That's pretty good.
How's he
But the
gonna
Jets
do?
are going to be real good.
How's Spurrier going to do?
I tell you, Don, I think he's going to be great. I think he's absolutely going to be great.
You're going to get emotional here? Or just
No,
ask how the
it's
guy's
just
going to do? God, did you see that big
you notice how
sign?
I'm very careful how I say these?
What? Again, in defense of Terry, he was simply reflecting just for a second on what he was going, how he was going to couch this
Thank you,
answer.
Charles. Thank you.
All right.
You know what? You're used to me being, I'm on my medicine now, so I'm not out there. I'm not running after cattle.
You're better than I've seen you in years.
Yeah.
By the way.
I don't
know you
drink
that well, but
anymore. I'm very stable. I've got a nice girlfriend now.
last time I saw you were banging some babe in the back of a limo at some tennis tournament. I forget.
Yeah, that's right. I was. I normally come in here and just say that's a bunch of bull. But you know what? If you want to believe that, I'm telling you what, not only once but twice.
No.
That?
I was there. I was there. What are you talking about?
Were you driving? What?
No, I probably should have been. I should have been a dozen. I think I was still drunk in those days.
Banging some babe in the back. Who
whatever.
told you that story? I want to know how that story got out.
I can give you a name if you want.
Go ahead.
I'll write the name down.
Okay.
I don't want to.
No, we don't want to put this on the air because this story is quite. I mean, we've been going through this for about a few years now.
Tell me I'm not right.
Holy cow! Oh Lord!
I got a pretty good memory.
I left a pair of sunglasses.
We thought there's another one of those ratherisms, like 2 ticks on a hound dog, colder than a Budweiser or whatever the hell he's talking about.
It's like when I go to the bathroom, I say, I want to take an Imus.
Or when I go, I'm going to wipe my McGirt.
My father came from Cuba with very little and started a company within the watch business and C-stores.
I'm Nancy Garrity with the Westchester BMW Fan Highway Patrol. Southbound BQE, an accident at Hamilton Avenue blocking the left lane and lots of problems on the inbound Gowanus at Gowanus Canal. All numerous spinouts and disabled vehicles, all lanes subject to closure at any time. In Queens, southbound Cross Island Parkway, disabled vehicle after Linden Boulevard and another disabled vehicle sitting eastbound LIE at the Grand Central Parkway. On the east side, southbound 2nd Avenue is shut down at East 43rd Street. This is all because of the scaffolding that fell off of a building, and eastbound 43rd as a result is closed at 2nd Avenue. Hudson River crossings, light traffic, but the inbound lower deck of the George Washington Bridge is shut down because of the weather conditions, and Verrazano Bridge lower deck is also shut down. And New Jersey Transit trains, along with Greyhound trains, suspending in and out of Port Authority because of the weather conditions. Imus forecast, snow, heavy at times, 10 inches accumulation daytime, nighttime 18 to 22 accumulation, low tonight 20 degrees. This report brought to you by Alivert. New Alivert is non-drowsy allergy medication that starts dissolving the minute it touches your tongue. I'm Nancy Garrity with the Westchester BMW Fan Highway Patrol.
We're talking here locally with Larry McNichol, who is our traffic reporter and who Charles and I have known for, quarters. We've been working with Lori since she was got out of college, and I was just telling Terry Bradshaw, as our special guest this morning, that, what's the matter? That Lori just married a guy by the name of Yusef Habib.
Habib means sweetheart in Arabic.
Right.
Yeah.
A wonderful man, Dr. Habib. Fabulous.
Sure.
Doctor.
Right. For anthrax is his specialty.
No, he's a fabulous physicist, very talented, very wonderful.
I tried to explain to Laura you can't be marrying somebody that's wearing a laundry on their head. And this one,
What is wrong with you? Oh, look, a cowboy hat is better? I mean, come on.
it is today in America, yeah.
You know what?
Yeah, it is.
He's a physicist.
Physicist.
Wow, can't even say that. But these you did that pharmaceutical thing, and I'm flying. Jeff Quinn's a Rhodes Scholar. He's the guy who runs all my business. He's a Nebraska Cornhusker, and he's back behind these walls. And yesterday we get on this plane in Dallas. Now I don't know his problem because I did my back operation.
You're doing well. You got
run.
a guy running all your businesses. That's pretty good.
Yeah. So I can run now. So every day now I'm running on the track. So I asked him to go running, and he said, all right. So we ran one day, and the next day he says, no, I can't run. And so one night he said, I just can't. Gave me no answer for it. Yesterday we get on the plane, and he looks at me with that sheepish little grin, and he's got this bag, and he pulls out this blue like an inner tube.
Yeah.
You sit on it.
Oh, okay. All right.
He had shoved the suppository for his hemorrhoids. I didn't know he had hemorrhoid problems. Thing must have been 6 inches
Sure
long. And he sits on this inner tube. Well, I'm afraid I called him out on the airplane. I never laughed.
That's not good, Lieutenant.
I couldn't help it, Don. It's the funniest thing. Then you get this big grease spot on your
No,
pants.
we don't. You got that's enough.
Oh, my God.
That's why you look good. You're exercising, right?
Yeah.
Because you weren't exercising for a while.
And I didn't work out for
Because your life was a
3
mess,
years.
wasn't it? Wasn't your life a mess?
Yes, it was.
A couple of divorces.
Couple of divorces. And a tale of woe.
But now Terry's outside.
Alcohol.
Right there near Billy Bob's in Fort
Right
Worth.
across the street.
Right. Are you across the street from Billy Bob's?
No. Yeah.
How many bars are in Billy Bob's, do you know?
How many bars
Yeah,
in
40.
Billy Bob's? I don't
40.
I've only been in there twice.
100,000 square feet. There are 40 bars.
27,000, nearly 3 acres.
Yeah.
Ceilings are too low for me.
Unbelievable.
Well,
Yeah.
so you like Delbert McClinton?
Look. Hey,
Isn't he great?
what's the first thing I asked you when I come in here?
Can I have a Delbert McClinton?
That's
album?
right. Yeah, I love this guy.
How about the
I've got a
Flatlanders?
6-hour flight to L.A. and I'm going to put this on.
Are you aware of the Flatlanders?
Yes. I'm not a Flatlander
What?
fan. I did some stuff with them, and I'm not. I mean, I admire them as musicians, but I'm not a big fan of theirs.
Have you ever heard "Waving My Heart Goodbye" or that kind of stuff?
I'm sure. I
His
don't
new
know.
album?
I'm just not a Flatlander guy.
How about Bonnie Raitt?
No, not a Bonnie Raitt. No. What? No.
Well,
No.
you did. You might as well just join
I'm
Al-Qaeda
a George
or the
Strait.
Taliban.
My number one guy is Alan Jackson.
He's pretty good.
Okay, that's my number one guy.
that's fine.
I'm a George Strait
Yeah,
guy.
that's
Toby Keith's a buddy of mine, buddy of yours. Love Toby Keith.
Well, he's not a buddy of mine.
Vince Gill.
I met.
I'm a Vince Gill
He's
fan.
a fat phony, Vince Gill.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, I
He
didn't
is-
realize
he sings-
that. Well, now,
First of all, he's a fat phony. He sings like a girl, and he married that girl who was supposed to be devoted to Jesus, and she was cheating on her husband, Amy Grant. You can't be singing about the baby Jesus and be
Meeting over there at
the IHOP double
Yeah,
deal in your
Promised
husband.
Land.
You can't do that, can you?
Getting your pig in that blanket.
No, you can't. That's right, Charles. Thank you very much. You can't be putting your pig in the blanket when you're talking about the baby Jesus in the manger.
well, that's
So,
Pokemon.
right, Chuck?
Maybe that's where
God,
Pokemon came
Can
from.
I say amen?
There he's Pokemon. That's very good.
Well, I wish I hadn't brought Vince Gill up. But anyway, and I'm not a. You know what I bought?
Fine.
Trisha Yearwood is the only female singer who is consistent on her albums. Her music is consistently good.
She can't carry Bonnie Raitt's jockstrap or pick.
You know, but that's what
Or something.
But that's you. You're probably a Willie Nelson fan, and I wouldn't walk across the street.
No, I like Willie, but but
I'm saying,
that'll be fun. I'm a Delbert McClinton and Dwight
There
Yoakam.
you go.
How about Dwight Yoakam?
I love Dwight Yoakam.
Okay, so that's
Now
what
you
we're
got
talking
me there.
about. All right,
And Lone Star.
we're out of time.
Oh,
But
I
anyway,
didn't get
You've
a
been on
chance
for-
to promote our
You've
games
been on for an
Fox.
hour.
Well, I know that, but we need to talk. Just give me a second here.
All right, go ahead, go
Our
ahead.
big game early is Philadelphia.
Of our National Communication Complex by Chief Clinician Walter Cronkite. Return with me now to August 2nd, 2001, a Thursday, and a day like all days, filled with the petty jealousies, the personal animosities, the backdoor intrigues, the underhanded plots, the planted rumors, barefaced lies, resentment, envy, and spite that permeate America's news and information agencies, whose motto might be, it's all about me. Yes, one for one, none for all, and oh, by the way, you. Enter here the latest chapter in an ugly saga at radio station WFAN in New York City, the flagship of the Imus in the Morning syndication network. The Imus program, whose seething fill-in sportscasters John Minko and Sid Rosenberg continue to circle each other like jackals vying for a female in heat, each ready to disembowel the other given the slightest opening. Yes, these then are the subjects we find bent over the Media Watch journey of inquiry today. Pants down, shirts up, wilted, pasty butt cheeks sagging toward Argentina. Minko, whose tan lines seem to say, I'm fond of cut-off roofer's pants as bathing attire, and Rosenberg, who we can see, unwisely but not unexpectedly, favors the bathing garment known as a thong. Sad, Sid, you're not going to win the title of Mr. Fitness America anytime soon. In fact, this old overwrought, can be bought, bastion of hearsay. You look like a heart transplant candidate who's just been hit by a stun gun. But I digress. Today's task is simple. To correct an impression, a criticism expressed by sportsman Minko that sportsman Rosenberg is getting an unfair share of the glamour that is inherent in appearing on the Imus in the Morning program. That Sid is, in so many words, hogging the spotlight. It is true, certainly, that Sid, in his own small and bitter world of insecurity, has sought to wedge himself into almost every conceivable corner of WFAN's program schedule, while simultaneously trying to permanently install his not inconsiderable nose into the plumber's crack of any and every ass that might be of some eventual service to him. He has hijacked, for all practical purposes, the official WFAN website. His lip prints cover the backsides of program director Mark Chernoff and general manager Lee Davis like a Jackson Pollock painting. A reprehensible human being, Sid makes Gary Condit seem appealing. So we're here today to correct the record, to give a good, inoffensive, and thoroughly likable man, John Minko, the anti-Sid Rosenberg, if you will, his just due. Therefore, to achieve equanimity and to keep the peace, let us consider now the positives, if you will, the attributes of a beloved colleague, John Minko, the coach. First, of course, he's, there's always his, could you fellows maybe help out here? Any suggestions at all? Well, certainly we could mention, well, maybe next time. You're right, Rosenberg. The stumbling son of a bitch really does belong in that parking lot next to Chandra. The handicapped space, of course. Sad. For me to watch, this is Walter Cronkite. Sorry, Johnny. Thank you, and good night.
Help, I'm wide and I can't get down. Got two left feet planted on the ground. I need some help if I do town. Help, I'm wide and I can't get down.
Imus in the morning. That's when they watch. To box or to rock? That was the question for this Grammy winner. More after this.
Mike in the car phone. Mike, how are you? Do you think now with Grow coming in, is that enough for your business partner, Mike, to start calling the Jets they again like they were before Parcells was there?
Let's put it this way. The pressure will be off Mike now if Grow's the head coach. How's that? Is that fair to say?
Well, what's the matter with that?
What's the matter with that? How about defending your partner?
You're a nutball. I mean, come on.
Oh,
take it easy.
You're a backstabbing weasel.
Oh, I'm not. You pipe down, you bald-headed bastard.
If your radio sounds funny in the morning, you're listening to Imus in the Morning.
Mike's best buddy is the head coach of the Jets. If the coach screws up, does that put Mike in a tough spot, yes or no?
No, it doesn't, because he can divorce himself of that because Mike is a professional broadcaster.
You know what a tough spot would be is being in a foxhole with you.
That's a tough spot. A grenade comes in, and what are you doing? You're out of the foxhole, even poor Mike there to get blown up.
In the morning. Sports Radio 66, WFAN.
Copyright 2003, Infinity Broadcasting. All rights reserved. Imus in the Morning is a presentation of WFAN and Westwood One Entertainment. There's only one flagship station for Imus in the morning, Mike and the Mad Dog in the afternoon, and New York sports all day and all night. The Fan, Sports Radio 66, WFAN New York, an Infinity Broadcasting station. WFAN 2020 Sports.
Good morning at 10 o'clock. This is John Minko, WFAN Sweeney Birdie with the Yankees in Tampa. And today figures to be an interesting day. It's the day of the Yankee shortstop. It's AutoZone right now and save money on your next oil change. At AutoZone, Coastal brand motor oil, just 99 cents per quart. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Now, here's the weather forecast. National Weather Service issuing a blizzard warning effective until midnight tonight. Snow heavy at times today, 10 more inches. High 28. Snow likely until midnight, total 18 to 24. That's 2 feet. Low mid-20s, and tomorrow, mostly cloudy, high 36. You didn't think I could count there, counting, did you? Current Central Park temperature is 22 degrees. It continues to snow. That's what's happening. This is John Minko with 2020 Sports on FAN. Your home for the Mike and the Mad Dog program, weekdays 1 until 6:30.
Hi, folks. This is Larry King. Now, here's something you can take to heart. Welch's Purple Grape Juice. We all know by now that eating at least 5 servings of fruits and vegetables a day can give us heart-healthy benefits. But did you know that just 1 6-ounce glass of Welch's Purple Grape Juice counts as a whole serving of fruit? In fact, a USDA study found that Welch's Purple Grape Juice has 3 times the antioxidant power of grapefruit or even orange juice. And as always, it's fat-free, cholesterol-free, and tastes great, too. So, would I start drinking Welch's Purple Grape Juice every day? In a heartbeat. When man
Manny and Aaron decided to start their own business, someone helped them through the red tape of a commercial lease.
I've narrowed it down to these 3 properties.
While Manny hammered out the details of their business plan, someone else was negotiating TI allowances.
Let's sit down and work this out.
As Aaron tested their new prototype, someone else was finalizing the details of a triple net lease. And while Manny and Aaron prepared to get down to business, someone else was closing the property deal. Work with someone who worked with you. We're realtors. Real estate is our life. Only realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
Are we prepared for it? We're prepared for it. Are we going to be fun and games all the time? I doubt it. But at least you know that's what the season's going to be about.
WFAN New York.
The Fan. Good morning, everybody. That was the voice of Joe Torre down in Tampa, Florida. This is the voice of Suzyn Waldman. I'm in today. Well, actually, I'm home today on some equipment. Couldn't make it in this morning. Jody is shoveling out somewhere north of Philly. Sid, we don't know where Sid is. I think he's in Grand Rapids still, but I am Suzyn Waldman, and I'm going to be here till 1 o'clock. Live from Waldman's Mountain, as Steve Cohen calls it. So I call in this morning, and John Minko answers the phone. And Minko, who last I heard of during a snowstorm, stayed at Sweeney Murdy's house when Sweeney used to live in Astoria in 1996. Minko, are you still there?
I'm right here.
Now, where did you stay last night?
Here.
You stayed here.
Yes,
are you still sleeping on that couch?
Yes. And the couch is narrow.
You know,
Either that or I got wider.
You did this. 1987, I remember coming in for an update shift at 10 o'clock, and Minko sleeping on the couch outside by the front door. Are you still doing that?
Yes. Yes, I am.
You know what?
Every storm happens, and I'm here. Why is that? I need to take holidays off from now on.
Is this unbelievable? All right, so Sweeney does. How about Joan Chin? When she used to work, she lived in Astoria. You could have called her, stayed on her couch.
Yes.
Oh, well, okay. All right. So then I asked her, okay, so Minko's there. He's going to be there till 11 o'clock. He's Scazzeri, and I...
Well, we got to get Suzyn back right there. We got Chris Carlin here in the
Guys,
studio.
take over. I'll go redial the hotline.
That's Eddie Scazzeri.
Mick, this isn't pretty. This is not pretty at all.
No.
We got all kinds of problems.
Problems here in the station.
Colin will be hosting today.
The problems outside. All kinds of snow.
Well, hopefully Suzyn will be rejoining us here in a minute. Dave Buttenzell's here, too. Suzyn wanted to bring us all in and get a feel for the snowstorm. I'll give you a feel. It stinks.
But the bottom line is this. Things can move extremely slow. I've been checking some of the traffic cams. Move extremely slow until you get to Astoria.
Suzyn,
all right, now wait a minute. Yeah. Okay, are you there?
Yeah, we're here.
Okay, well, they shut me off. I was listening to you say that I was trying to bring you all in nicely. Just leave it alone. It'll come back eventually. All right, so explain to me how you get stuck at the gas station.
Me?
Yeah, you.
Well, I didn't really here's what happened. I left my house at 6:30 this morning in Bergen County, and I'm flying along. No problem. There's snow on the road. There was probably 6 to 8 inches on the ground there. I get to Astoria by 7:30. I'm thinking, this is great. I'm killing Russo on the phone. If you don't come to work today, it is an absolute joke. I don't want to hear from you all day, the whole thing. I said, people who would call this a blizzard are lost. This is a little bit of snow. No problem. I come around the corner in Astoria at 36th Street, and I get stuck at 35th Avenue where the commissary is. I'm there for a half an hour. This clown next to me in a Dodge Intrepid tries to go around me, gets stuck, starts shoveling himself out. I'm trying to kick the snow out from under my tires. I turn to him after he starts getting himself out. I said, can I borrow your shovel for a minute? No, I gotta go. He pulls it out, takes off down the street. I am cursing like you wouldn't believe. Then a nice gentleman with a plow in a truck who was doing all the streets plowed in front of me and then went behind me, pushed some snow into the back of my little Honda Civic and pushed me forward. So then I go forward, I get out. I'm looking for a place to park. I can't get into the lot and because there's too much snow. I turn around the corner. I'm circling around all Astoria trying to find a place. Finally, I'm on 34th Avenue right near the station, and the car skids out into another snowbank. So I get out of the car, and at this point, you know what? I'm so tired. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to have a smoke. Give me 5 minutes. I'm going to have a quick smoke.
I'm going to relax. Then Eddie Scazzeri turns the corner, who's been looking for me all over Astoria, and then breaks out a couple of shovels. We dig out of there. And then finally we get into the lot because Dave and Eddie helped dig me a spot.
Okay, now what have we learned from this? Those of us who grew up in the Northeast, we know that we always put shovels in the back of our car.
Well, I'm sorry. I
have
don't own
we
a
learned
shovel.
this now?
I don't
You don't own a shovel?
No, I don't.
You live in the Northeast Corridor and you don't own a shovel?
No, I don't own a shovel because I live in an apartment, and normally that kind of stuff is taken care of, shall we say.
I always wanted to meet all these people. You know when they say that there's lines to get shovels? I always wanted to meet someone who is in January or February in the Northeast who doesn't have a shovel. And now I have found somebody.
Oh, well, that's me.
So now you know, when we go out with our little Honda Civic and it's snowing, we put a shovel in the back seat or in the back of the car.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, I had the little brush to take care of the windshield. But other than that, it was fine.
The brush doesn't work on the street.
And that stupid can of de-icer, which, by the way, was frozen. Doesn't de-ice anything.
Well, what I thought we learned today was we don't come into work on days like this.
Or as Minko said, we learned to stay here.
We learned to stay over. So Eddie and Dave Bonzel were very helpful in shoveling
out. Oh, they were great. They were great. Thank God for Eddie, because he found me around the corner, and, you know, Eddie saw me, and I basically...
Well, what do you mean he found you? You weren't exactly in Antarctica. You were in Astoria on 35th Street.
Well, he's driving around all over the neighborhood trying to find me, and there's this big fat guy standing outside his black Honda Civic, smoking a Marlboro Ultralight, waiting for some help.
With a big yellow jacket, you look like a giant bee.
Yeah, exactly. I look like a walking hazard for the most part.
All right, now we all fine now? Your car is
whatever.
safely in the... Now, how are you going to shovel it out? Because it's going to be like another foot by the time you leave.
Who knows? I don't even know if we're going to be able to shovel it out. We'll have to... I got Joan Chin on my speed dial. Let's put it that way.
Well, you're going to have to share that couch with Minko, right?
Yeah. If it's not big enough for Minko, I got news for you. There's a good chance it's not going to be big enough for me.
Luckily, we have two couches these days.
Well, what about upstairs? Aren't there any couches upstairs anymore?
But those doors are all locked. All the salespeople are home conveniently because it's a holiday.
It's President's. Just think what would have happened if you had to come to work and there was actually traffic.
Oh, forget about it. Like I said, I had no problem getting from closer to here, and then basically I'm within 2 feet of the station, and it's a nightmare.
Well, Eddie, did you get your exercise for the day?
Oh, yeah, my back is killing me.
Yeah, Eddie's out there shoveling with Dave, and I said, maybe you should give me the shovel, let me do it. He said, why? Well, you're the one with the blood sugar issue. Oh, good point. Here.
And then he finds a shovel in the lot, goes to start shoveling, and it's broken in half, the handle.
It's got a duct tape handle, and it's a little garden spade.
Don't mention duct tape. I don't want to hear another word about duct tape around here. It's so ridiculous. All right, we're all here. We're all in for a wonderful morning, right?
Yeah.
Are you supposed to answer? I'm 30 miles away. Okay. All right, guys.
We'll get through it.
Okay.
Nice and warm at Crunton-on-Hudson. I can guarantee you that
it's wonderful. This is, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous up here. It's absolutely beautiful. The dogs are inside. What's really bad, about big dogs is that obviously they have to go out and they love it, but I open the door, and if I don't go with them, they won't go out because they don't like a blizzard either, because, the little ice things get in their little noses and things, so they don't like that. So I was out with them this morning at about 6:30 because they have to go out, and I'm throwing, they like to have me throw the balls up and down the driveway and things. Well, except the balls then go into the snow about a foot, and then they get all confused and start digging in the snow. Well, this is dog talk, and you don't care about
Suzyn, I was about to say, I got to be honest, I'm really not feeling that bad with the dogs right now. They're curled up on the couch next to you as you're doing the show, and we appreciate it.
Well, thanks for joining in, guys.
Well, we do what we can. Take care.
All right. All right. Chris Carlin, Dave Bonzel, Eddie Scazzeri, we're all there. John Minko is there. I am Suzyn Waldman, and we will talk some sports today. I talked to Ken Singleton, who's down in Baltimore, who is trying to get his garage door open because they've got 24 inches in Baltimore, and he can't get out of his house. So, maybe we'll check in with him. Jody, last night, yesterday, when I was on the air, Jody called every half an hour from Philly, he's a little north of Philly, to tell me there's 6 inches and it's still snowing. Then I read on the screen, 9 inches, still snowing. 13 inches, still snowing. 18 inches, still snowing. And I told Eddie to call Jody. Eddie, did you get Jody?
Yeah, we made contact with Jody.
Okay, where is he? Is he still shoveling?
Yeah, he's got about a 3-foot bank at the end of his driveway that they plowed him in, and his back is bothering him, so he shovels for 10 minutes and then goes and rests
for 10 minutes.
Well, okay. Well, we'll try and check it. He's going to try and call sometime at some point, right?
Yes, he said that.
Okay, and of course, the person that we're waiting for to check in is right now is Sweeney Murdy. Now, let me tell you about what's going on down there today in Tampa. This is you heard the Joe Torre cut. He was talking about mayhem. You saw that in all the papers. And this is mayhem New York Yankee style. I talked to Rick Sorrell, the PR director, early this morning. There is actually a tent being set up in left field, near left field, for Hideki Matsui because there are now about 100 Japanese reporters, that's print reporters and cameras, waiting for Hideki Matsui to walk into Legends Field to meet his teammates. This is a Bronx Zoo revisited, and it's unbelievable. So you've got that going on. Even as we speak, and I'm sure it's happened already, because Derek Jeter was going to talk to the media after his physical, which I think was at 8:30, 9 o'clock. I talked to Sweeney at about 8:30, and he was going to go get in position down in the dugout so that he could get as close to Jeter as possible. When he did his little, whatever he has to say, and knowing Jeter, he'll probably say the right things. What he should say is that he understands if the owner of the team wants to give him a little tweak now and then to maybe get the team excited and get them to go, but he wants to make it clear that he is always prepared and that his nightlife is not part of his ritual. Because I'll tell you, I've been out with this when Jeter is around. This is not Mickey Mantle out there, folks, at all. I don't think I've ever seen Derek Jeter take a drink in public after all these years, and it's been 7 years. And I don't care what anybody says if he's out at a birthday party at 3 o'clock. I remember that night. They didn't get out of the clubhouse till midnight. It was Derek Jeter's birthday. They all went somewhere. And, Jeter is not one of these guys that just goes clubbing. That isn't who he is. And to say he's not prepared or even insinuate that he is not prepared is not right. It's just not right. I think George...
WPLJ Storm Center Update.
16 inches of snow in the park, 21 inches around the rest of the city and Long Island, parts of southeast and northeast New Jersey, seeing those same totals as well. 20 inches of snow down the Jersey Shore, 21 down toward the Trenton area. It's going to be an evening where we have a lot of snow still accumulating across the area until about 6, 7 o'clock tonight. And throughout the area, we still have winds of 35, 45 miles per hour. That will continue through the afternoon into the evening. So it's a long way before the storm is over. If you don't have to get out, then don't. Stay indoors. The snow totals are going to get into that 24 to 26 range later on today. Well north and west of the city, it'll be about a foot to 16 inches. Now, we expect the winds to continue through the night tonight with blowing snow. Wind chills will be at about 5 below and 10 below through the night tonight. So a long way to go still with this storm. Snow till about 7 o'clock tonight. Joey?
24 at Madison Square Garden. Real-time traffic is Joe. Well, some good news on the Hutch now. Northbound, that ramp to the Cross Bronx Expressway has been...
Good enough to get on the road. And I got to give some of these guys credit back at the Fan because I don't know if they're looking for pats on the back. It sounds like a little of that, but got to give them credit. They got up this morning and got out, something you couldn't have done from where I am, but Continent did from New Jersey. Malusis did from Westchester. I guess a couple other guys did, too, from wherever they came. And they are at the studio. And I went out in the car this morning, and I heard Continent doing his 15-minute stand-up with Suzyn, so he has exhausted all his snow jokes by now before we get to our program today. Have you not, Continent?
That's pretty accurate.
Yeah, it is very accurate.
Let's move forward.
Yeah. You've done your snow. It was good at 10:15, a little less so throughout the morning, but it was not a bad bit at 10:15 this morning. But the roads, and I went out this morning, the roads are just not good. I mean, and this I know from 15 years of visiting lovely Astoria. They may plow Manhattan. They never plow Astoria. I've never seen a plow in Astoria. And I don't care, 3 days from now, the side street in Astoria will have 3 feet of snow in them. I mean, it is one place they never plow. So I guarantee you, it took you a half hour to get to Astoria from wherever you were going, and then it took 3 hours to go 3 blocks to the Fan. True or not true?
That's pretty accurate. It took me an hour from home,
right.
6:30 to 7:30,
right.
And then I walked in the station door at 9:30.
Because you cannot get down the streets in Astoria because they never plow Queens. Now, the city's got enough money to plow Manhattan. They don't have any money to plow Queens, so they never plow Queens. I mean, never. So you have no chance. But Malusis got in there.
Continent got in there. They must have had a lot less snow than we got because there was no way to get there from where I am today. We have over 20 inches on the ground right now and counting, and it's still snowing hard as heck right now, but we will do a show. Dog will chime in today. Now, here's one thing that Now, we got a lot to do today. We got to do Jeter, which we will do, and you'll hear his press conference. We got to talk about Matsui and what a circus that has become in day one. So we got to do the basketball. Well, Houston had a tremendous night against a shackless Laker team last night. So we got to talk about that. We'll do some Ranger stuff. We'll give Seton Hall a pop because they have knocked off a couple of top 10 teams and gotten themselves in the thick of the run for the NCAA tournament. So we got a whole lot to do today, and we'll get it all done. But one thing that I just did not notice till I got there this morning, and I'm sure people have, noticed in the last couple of days or will notice, I went out this morning to go to the store to get the papers, which I do every morning. So I cleaned off the car, plowed it through about 3 feet of snow, and drove it up the road here, where the roads were passable but not good. And I went to get some gas because I was on my reserve tank because I had been out last night. And I didn't notice till I got to the gas station that gas has gone up about 60 cents a gallon in like the last week. I mean, it was $2.29. I didn't know where. It was like $1.69 last week. Now, I'm not one who's going to complain much about prices, which I admit, and I can't at the gas station because I drive up in a pretty nice car, so I'm pretty lame if I sit there and complain about the gas going up when I'm driving the car I'm driving. But I did notice, and I'm sure everybody else has, that it took $48 to fill my gas tank this morning, which is the most I can ever remember. And it's like, are we at war already? Did the war start, or did the oil companies just decide to gouge us over this cold winter with imminent war in Iraq? Did they decide just to gouge us with these gas prices? The gas has gone up, I would say, and I'm not sure about this exactly to the day, I'd say it's gone up about 60 cents in the last 3 weeks. It was $2.29 a gallon. Did you guys notice that?
Mike, I had already filled up yesterday, but it had gone up to at least $1.59 where I live, and that's up from $1.39 basically for regular.
Wait, it's $1.59 where you live?
Yes.
And it's $2.29 where I live?
Yes. $2.29, you're probably filling it with super, I would think.
Well,
too,
I have to, yeah. But the lowest thing they had on the gas tank was $2.19.
Now, I filled it up yesterday, and it was $1.59 in Jersey.
Well, where I was today on Long Island, it was $2.29 for super, $2.19 for regular unleaded, and I thought last week, now maybe I'm wrong, that it was $1.69, which means they've raised it 60 cents. And I asked the guy, I said, when was the last time you raised the gas? They said we raised it like 40 cents this week. I said, why? I know maybe it's a cold winter, maybe the petroleum stocks are a little low, it's February, the whole deal, but that's gouging to raise the damn thing 40 cents in a week. We're not even at a war. So I'm sure people are going to pay attention to this in the next couple of days. Now, I'm not the one to complain. I understand that. So I'm not complaining. I can afford it. But $48 to fill my gas tank, I never remember paying more than like $32. It was like $48 today. I said, geez, this thing's gone through the roof in the last couple of days. Or maybe they decided because it was a snowstorm, they'd raised the price of the oil and the gas about, 50, 60 cents a gallon. So if you're a commodity broker who bought a lot of oil futures this winter and petroleum futures, you did pretty well, I would gather, because they probably went through the roof. I don't pay attention to that, but I'm sure it did. Now, as I said, we got Dog in Connecticut. What he's doing up there, I don't know. You could have basically planned this morning escape from Connecticut. How bad is it for Dog up there with his kids locked in the house where the kids won't go out because it's like below zero outside and it's freezing? So if you get him dressed, it takes 20 minutes to get him dressed, and they're out there 3 minutes. Dog was so crazy about working today and getting out of his house after the weekend that he was going to come to my house last night and sleep over just so he could do the show today. I said, yeah, I'll call you back. Never called him back. Next thing you know, he didn't get a chance to do it. He was snowed in by this morning. He was going to bring the kids to my house for the 5.5 hours. Then we would have had to bring Continent out to babysit. So, my wife could have taken him out in the snow and, thrown him in the snow for a while, or made a snowman or whatever the hell. But the bottom line is it is just a rough day all along. I can't think of anybody. I know it's a holiday for about, 60% of the people, maybe 50, 60% of the people get today off. Bottom line is if you went out today and you didn't have to, you can go to the corner and get something from the store. But, barring that, if you went past that on Long Island, you were nuts. It is just insane how bad the roads are and how much snow we have. I don't remember the last time. That 96 storm, I remember, was a pretty good one. I don't think it was up to this level of intensity for today. As we said, it's a cold blizzard-type day, so if you're home, you get a chance to sit around and listen or watch on Yes, and we'll give you a good show today. We got a lot to do with Derek Jeter. He answered this morning on what was, I'm sure, just a circus maximus at Yankee camp in Tampa, because you got Jeter holding a press conference this morning as he goes across the street from the minor league complex to the major league complex, and then you have Matsui. And that is the bigger deal as far as I'm concerned, because Jeter thing's going to go away now. I mean, Jeter's had his moment. He's made his statements. He wants the Yankee fan to understand that he works real hard. And listen, if you're a Yankee fan, you know Jeter works real hard, and you know he doesn't miss games. That's the way you judge a player. You don't judge a player by anything else, but only whether he misses games. Jeter never misses games, never wants to be taken out of a game. So you don't worry about Jeter and his work ethic, because he plays 160 games every single season. It's not a big deal. The guy can't be out all night all the time because he's playing every damn game. I mean, look at the record. He plays every game all year, and he plays well. Did he have a great year last year? Well, he played better defensively than he has in recent years. He told me.
That's an impressive guy, Joe Biden. Jesus, holy God.
Smart man. My goodness.
Isn't he?
Oh, please.
I mean, it's irrelevant whether you...
No, he's just a terrific intellect.
Yeah. Yep. Well, Miguel's not going to make it, is he, if he doesn't cough up some judicial philosophy?
Well, Democrats are not interested in diversity.
But what I'm wondering is, we don't have time to get into it, but in fact, I asked Charles, when I saw him, when I saw Miguel Estrada with Senator Feinstein, she asked him about Roe v. Wade. Now, I can't remember how she asked the question. But whether he thought it was an appropriate decision, the law. I mean, he just wouldn't comment on it at all. But I mean, wouldn't that then, in effect, qualify as some sort of litmus test to try to get a window into where the ball coming from on the abortion deal? So.
Absolutely.
Wasn't it, Charles? Or,
well,
or not?
I
just don't understand.
I don't know if that's a. I don't know. He actually represented some pro-abortion groups when who he worked for. He argued their cases in front of the court, so nobody really knows where he stands on it.
Maybe he ought to share some, just broad. Give us some.
Well, he's a private citizen.
So maybe it's the wrong way to use this word, but some amorphous idea of just some broad, general idea where the boy be coming from.
As long as he's qualified.
We don't want to get some freak up there, do we? We don't want to.
Well, I don't think
delay on there.
Well, I don't think there's any suggestion that that he's a nutcase or anything.
Well, he doesn't have a tattoo on his face, no.
No.
Not yet, but it is 7 minutes after the hour here on the Imus Morning program. Well, Dr. Phil is here.
Yeah.
So that's wanting to be on, man. Coming over here. This is the Kaufman Studios in Queens, New York, across the what is it, the Hudson River, Charles? No.
East would be the East River.
I've only been coming over here for. I've only lived in New York for 32 years.
Been a Yankees fan since 1971.
Well, I don't know what the hell It's
the real brand.
I don't pay attention to what river it is.
Hello, Magellan, come on.
I guess I wish it was a Rio Grande. At any rate, so it's a mess getting in here, but apparently, well, they're here.
Yeah.
We'll talk to him. And I didn't understand this whole Letterman thing.
See what it is. It's been a running gag that features one-line.
Well, no, don't. I don't want.
Well, now you want to know.
No, I don't want to know now.
I'm not going to tell you.
I want to know.
I'm not going to tell you.
I can go back in my office and stay there.
I'm not going to tell you.
All right. So, tell me
what he was doing was
No. Let's hear from Dr. Phil. But here's the thing that was annoying is. I was in Connecticut this morning, so I got up at 3:30.
Yeah.
And I TiVo'd the Letterman show from last night.
Yeah.
Just to see what the big deal was.
Right.
And I could watch about. All I could take was about 3 minutes. And at some point, Dr. Phil pulled out a list from his pocket about something, and I mean, we like Dr. Phil, which is why he's on. If we didn't like him, wouldn't be on.
Terrific.
So.
You have to be a steady Letterman fan to be into the field.
Okay, you understand what that. Yeah.
Well, what it was is that he was
something that we didn't get, I guess.
Apparently.
Yeah. 9 minutes after the hour here on the I'm Submarine program. Well, next time we talk to David Gregory, the White House correspondent for NBC News, he might want to start getting ready to cover Joe Biden. We have our way about it. That's it. We could be on Senator Biden's bandwagon.
Well, what about Senator Kerry, Senator Dodd, the Reverend Al Sharpton, President Bush? How many bandwagons can you be on at the same time?
Dennis Kucinich. Former Mayor Kucinich, yeah. Yep. Former Mayor of Cleveland. He was the Mayor of Cleveland when I was there.
He's going to file papers next week?
He is a psychopath.
He's ready to go.
Well, he's not. Well, yeah, he's a psych. He has no more business being president than I do. He has no business being president.
He's in.
I mean, that's crazy.
Going to get in the charge.
That's crazy.
Here we go.
That is crazy. Oh yeah, you know, in addition to everything, in addition to watching the yacht race, seeing the Kate Hudson thing on MTV, I watched a little bit of Barbershop. You check that out, Chuck?
No.
Well, I mean, wasn't that to do with Jesse Jackson's other phony for screaming about?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh well, they took that so out of context.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean,
and the Reverend Al was
wolfing on
running that flag up. I mean,
Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King, but it was in the context of the film. It was fine.
Of the Barbershop.
Yeah, but I mean, it was
silly.
It wasn't just some blatant attack on. It was amusing. Anyway, it's 11 minutes after the hour. Is there anything I need to know about going on? I mean, if I were you, and I'm talking to you all here on the East Coast, particularly in New York, in Boston, and if you can, I'd just say I don't think so.
Just take it easy today. Just wait a day. Why did you go from Senator Joe Biden to Barbershop? Is that another dig?
Well, no, not at all.
Subtle yuck. The Iron Man.
No. That's really a stretch for you to draw.
Well, we know how your previous mind works.
Boy, no kidding. That's a very good point, Bernard.
How's that a stretch? For you. Hey, you know what? I would stretch it out. I'm going to vote for him. Hey, you know what I saw was Barbershop.
No. I'm just telling you. Well, how about I mentioned the yacht race too?
Right. Well, yeah.
I mean, I could have been talking about Senator Kennedy.
Just to lay another.
Come on, about 12 minutes. That's it.
I throw myself at the mercy of the court at this time, and I'm asking to please be allowed back into the inner circle.
Bark like a dog.
Cluck like a chicken.
You can cluck like a chicken or meow like a little kitty.
Cluck like a chicken or meow like a kitty.
Right.
And then I'm allowed back into the studio.
Right.
All right. Are you ready? I'll do it.
Okay.
Meow.
Well, that is disgraceful, Sid. Honest to God, I mean,
can you ever recover?
Imus in the morning.
Wait till I tell Wyatt.
Oh, don't tell Wyatt.
Wyatt's in school.
No, don't tell him.
Wait till I... In fact, I'm picking him up today.
Don't tell him. I'm begging you to throw the tape out. I mean, I'll do whatever you want. Just throw it... Well, I shouldn't say that, I guess.
No, you shouldn't.
Right now, a grandmother is tickling her grandson. Right now, someone's reeling in a mighty big catfish.
Radio station, part of the Viacom deal. What a very nice guy Dr. Phil is.
Kidding.
Off the air, too, by the way.
Yes.
He's not any different on the air than he is off.
Yeah.
Which is always kind of revealing about some of these people.
Mm-hmm.
Well, man, I didn't realize, you learned something. Well, I didn't realize that he had, does he wonder if he still has a jury deal? Unless
I think he does. I think he said, I do have a real job in addition to everything else, all his other successes.
He did have an Elvis entourage with him, didn't he, Bernie?
Yeah, he's got an Al Sharpton-like entourage. He's a very important man these days.
Yep. Oh, well, that's fine.
And they're all, from what I could tell, they're all from Texas, so they started out with him, so apparently there's some loyal folks there.
Mm-hmm.
Some nice people.
Well, I liked him and I liked Joe Biden, so we have two people this morning who I like.
Yeah, absolutely.
And tomorrow we have General Nolan Schwarzkopf. I like him as well.
Yep.
We need to get some people on, but we don't have people on I don't like, do we?
No, we don't. It's part of the
you.
What do you mean?
No, I'm just kidding.
You love me. We're very close. We're tight.
Unfortunately. that is the case.
You do need to talk to Dr. Phil. You and I need to sit down with him.
Anyway, what's going on?
I don't know. What is going on?
What is you're supposed to do the news?
Oh, you mean the news? A-hole?
No,
you think that's necessary?
Probably not.
That probably went too far? Maybe?
I apologize.
Mayor Bloomberg is hoping commuters will relax a little bit this morning and be patient as they try to head back to work after the enormous snowstorm.
I'm thinking about going in there and slapping Bernie.
Why? Just purely for the hell of it? I think that might, you know what I think that might be? A mistake.
Suicide.
Commuter train service may be a little bit spotty this morning as the city tries to return to normal. Long Island Railroad was hoping to provide normal weekday service and all of that.
You think it'd be out of the question for me to try to get Julie to walk down to Gold's Gym to the... Probably would, huh?
I don't know. I would imagine Gold's Gym is not even open.
Yeah, they are.
They are?
They have a little snack bar in there. They make great stuff. It's all organic.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we have a snack machine down here by the coffee machine in the back.
Oh, no, it's a bunch of junk in there. Doritos and M&Ms. I don't want any of that.
Reese's peanut butter cups?
No. I want...
No, there's some good stuff there. There's some moon pie.
No, I don't want any of that. No, I want...
We could have her come back and fan you while you eat your little snack bar.
CBS tonight. The Guardian is a drama that has had wild twists.
We did miss a stop set with Joe Biden, but we didn't with Dr. Phil because we brought Dr. Phil in earlier, which may be something we might want to think about doing with these guests.
It made sense.
I liked him, didn't you?
Oh, very much.
I didn't realize the boy was a 6'4", did you?
No, I didn't. But he looks big. I mean, even on the TV, man.
He's a nice man. He
sure is.
You know,
a no BS guy. It's his deal. Cut through the blather of advice.
Same off the air as he is on.
Mm-hmm.
Very revealing about these show business people, which I've observed over the years.
Did you tongue kiss him goodbye on his way out of the studio?
Well, no, I never had an adversarial relationship with him.
Would have liked to.
What would have been the point?
Love Dr.
No
Phil.
point.
I mean, what was it? We had like they asked to be on, right?
Absolutely.
And we said we eagerly accepted that entree. Of course.
I think there were some nice words said, though, over the past few months about Dr. Phil.
Well, yes, sir. What am I supposed to say? I don't like him?
No, you're supposed to be honest, of course.
That's all I was.
Would like Dr. Phil.
The first time I saw the show, there's no way this guy didn't make it. Yeah. No, I never saw him on Oprah, so I didn't know what he was doing there. But there's no way this guy doesn't make it. I mean, you cannot make it.
He's getting it done. He's good.
It's like Jimmy Kimmel. I love Jimmy Kimmel. I really do. But that show is not going to... That is a disaster. You saw it, didn't you, Bernie?
Yeah.
Am I right?
That is worse than Magic Johnson's show.
It is beyond awful.
Oh, my God.
He should be sort of a sidekick or whatever. He can't carry something like that.
Doesn't have the chops. Well, let's get to what's going on in New York here with the snow and all that. Is it safe to leave your house or should you just stay there and build a fire?
Stay there and build a fire.
If you don't have a fireplace, that could prove to be a problem.
It could. If you can contain it, you can still build a fire.
Yeah. Now, if y'all around the country don't need to worry about it, although there's snow in about 15 states, isn't there?
Yep.
So,
sure is. It's a mess.
I talked to Donnie and Samantha. They were back here for the Valentine's Day or some damn deal he did with her. I don't know what the hell it is.
Oh, what do you mean some damn deal he did?
Oh, well, he...
Come on.
Samantha runs the office at the ranch, and she's the child life... And she's the... What the hell she do? She coordinates all the kids coming to the ranch.
Yeah.
She makes all the arrangements, picks the kids and with the hospital and so on.
Mm-hmm.
But all of the kids we're having a session in March, and all of the kids we're having in March come from New Mexico.
Oh,
so, which I'll be out there. There's still people don't understand that when there are kids there, Did and I are there, and we're in the house, and we're like their parents for 10 days.
Right.
There's 10 kids, and there's us, and Wyatt, and then there's 2 child life specialists who spend most of their time jogging.
It's a great place to run, I'm telling you.
Yeah. And then there's a doctor and nurse there, and that was the foundation of the ranch was that we would become a family, and That's what we do. And so at 3 o'clock in the morning, when they're fighting, they knock on our door, not to child life specialists, which we would encourage them not to do, but they aren't paying attention. They want to talk to Deirdre. They don't. They seldom want to talk to me. But
Understood. Go figure.
So we have a group of kids, and somebody just slammed the door, and it's just they actually are just trying to get me to just kill myself, aren't they? It's a plot.
That's probably why
it's a plot.
That's probably, something is, you will admit that something has changed about the door's performance, the door's mechanism. This slamming thing is a recent vintage.
Well, first of all, nobody's slamming it.
It just closes that way.
It's not.
It just slams. Something's changed. It slams shut.
It's fine.
Well, I don't like it.
I know. It's none to be care about. How it affects me. It's the stress level it creates, and I'm under enough pressure.
As I see you, every time sometimes you go, there's a little jump.
And I got to figure out a way to run this ranch, and to pay for it, it just costs a fortune.
Yeah.
That was a great idea. I got a good idea. Let's build an old-time cattle ranch and have kids out. And of course, you can only have kids when they're out of school, but you got to run the ranch all the time. That's a good idea.
That's great.
What's that going to cost you? Oh, about $1.5 million a year.
Yeah.
Really?
That'll work.
That'll work. Well, it does work. But
yes, it does.
Anyway, so we'll be out there in March with these little dummies. That's what I told them.
We refer to little knotheads.
Anyway, Donnie and Samantha got out Sunday morning.
Good.
Right before the snow. Because I had predicted almost in my head that I'd be getting some phone call from them that they couldn't get back to the ranch because they got snowed in, which I was...
But they wisely...
Not sure what I would have done.
Left ahead,
not much. In the
head of the storm.
Anyway, what's going on?
Overseas, man.
No.
What?
Here. Is it safe to leave your house this morning in America?
No.
It's not?
No, it's not. Stay indoors.
Any place in America? How about in Tucson?
Stay indoors.
Oh, all right.
All right, come on. Code orange.
How about there at Albuquerque on 610, the sports animal?
Stay indoors. Don't come out. You don't know what could happen.
Wonder how Johnny Tapia is doing. Does anybody know? Why don't you call our affiliate there in Albuquerque and ask them if they know?
He's been diagnosed as brain dead 5 separate times.
Johnny Tapia?
Yeah. I don't think he's doing very well.
He's brain dead?
He's been clinically diagnosed as brain dead, yes, I believe 5 separate times in the last month and a half.
Jesus, that's all.
Man, no kidding.
God.
Gee.
All right, well, go ahead, Charles.
Tragedy overseas. More than 130 people are dead following an arson attack this morning on a South Korean subway train. Scores more are injured. Police are continuing a hunt for victims, and almost 100 people, in addition to the 130 known dead, almost 100 people remain unaccounted for.
Oh, God.
A news agency there says a 56-year-old man ignited a carton of flammable liquid and threw it aboard a train out of despair over paralysis that he had suffered during treatment at a medical clinic. So they got this guy in custody after he himself received treatment for injuries that he suffered in the fire that he, according to the police, set. 130 dead, 100 unaccounted for.
Did you hear about that fire in Chicago at that nightclub?
Day after a stampede at a nightclub, it didn't involve a fire, man, claimed 21 lives. The city of Chicago is expected to go to court today to file criminal contempt charges against the owners of this club. The city said it filed a case against Epitome, or E2 as it's known, the club's known, last summer due to 11 building code violations, but an attorney for the owner says the only problem was with a new portion that had been set up on the second floor. That's the floor where the tragedy occurred. Many victims were trampled and crushed when security guards used pepper spray indoors to break up a fight that reportedly was between a couple of women. This happened early yesterday. Police described that as tragically poor judgment to break out the pepper spray in this very, very crowded nightclub.
And to display as much of it as he did.
Yeah.
Here now, live from the Bahamas, is Bo Dietl. Good morning, Bo.
Good morning, Don. How you doing, brother?
You know, Dr. Phil was just here.
Yeah. Does he have what kind of degree does he got, Dr. Phil?
Does he what?
Does he have a college degree, Dr. Phil?
Oh, I'm sure he does.
Really
Why?
Doctor.
He doesn't have to have a college degree. The guy's got... Here's the thing. You should go on his show every day for about a month.
What am I going to do? Wasn't he pounded Tate and Oprah?
No, you are a mindless moron. You know, speaking of brain dead, what's wrong with you?
80, 82, and sunny every day. I took off on Saturday. On Citation 10.
Nobody cares.
With the little family. Great. I got my man Senator Lautenberg with me, Victoria Gotti, and Richie Puccio, one of your commercial people down here. We just having a good old time down here. I got a 130-foot boat under my control.
Who is Richard Puccio? Where do I know that name from?
The Puccio
The advertisers.
Yeah, the Puccio brothers.
They recover money?
Oh, the loan sharks. I mean,
We'll get your truck back for you. Don't worry about it.
The collector guys.
Yeah, they said Louis to pick the truck from that you didn't pay for.
So this is like a little Appalachia 2 meeting down there with you.
Let me tell you.
Where's Victoria Gotti? Is she in your party?
No, she's with me, and she's got her 3 sons here. Very nice family.
She's a very nice lady.
And let me tell you something, Don. We just got blessed with the most beautiful weather.
Nobody cares. Get off my phone. Well, it's coming up. This is dope. It's 15 past the hour. Well, here now, the former heavyweight champion of the world, who apparently has pulled out of that fight on Saturday. That was scheduled to happen in Memphis.
He's another brain-dead boxer.
Yeah, from one brain-dead nitwit, Bo, to another, Mike Tyson. Good morning, champ.
Yeah, I got a tattoo on my face, so what?
Well, I'll tell you, so what? I mean, the situation is you got it Wednesday. It would take 10 days to heal up, and you have a fight Saturday that you now apparently have pulled out of.
Well, maybe we could do like they did at Daytona 500. Just call me the winner.
Well, no. I mean, you'd have to at least fight a couple of rounds, wouldn't you?
Well, I don't know about that. I want to get a mustache tattooed over my top lip because I like the way I look with a mustache, but I don't like having to trim it. I thought that'd be a good way to have a mustache and not have to groom it all the time.
Sure.
But instead, I got this African thing, which I think means, can't we all just get along? I figure when I'm in the ring, my opponents be so distracted trying to figure out what it is, it'll give me that advantage.
You know what would have been great, Mike?
What would that be?
Had you had something tattooed on your face that was funny.
I'm going to get a tattoo on the back of my head that says, construction vehicle, do not follow. I love tattoos. I got lots of them. Before I got this African thing, I got one of Jackie Chan and one of Richard Pryor.
Yeah.
At least that's what they're supposed to be.
No, it's Chairman Mao and Arthur Ashe.
Yeah, one word of advice to you, Imus. You're going to get a tattoo, don't get it from the booth at the Price Club. Jackie Chan looks like the fat guy who delivers my egg rolls, and the one of Richard Pryor, I don't know who the heck that's supposed to be. Looks like Grady from Sanford and Son.
Well,
I want to get a tattoo on my penis that says champ.
And this is just going nowhere. You know?
And then when I'm in bed with a woman and I get excited, it'll say champagne wishes and caviar dreams. This is the lifestyles of the rich and famous.
No, just continuing with this, when we've already established that it's not going anywhere, it's just serving to kill us, don't you think, Champ?
Then my job here is done. I've accomplished my goal.
This will ruin the program.
Ta-da!
It is 17 minutes after the hour.
That's not good.
Oh, incidentally, Rob Bartlett and the Bartletts will be appearing at the Paramount Theater in Peekskill, New York on Saturday, March 1st, where he will not be performing as the champ.
Yeah.
And for, is that right, Champ? Champ's gone.
Champ's gone.
Okay. Don't hang on in case I would want to try to make something happen of this. Just kill us and then hang up. Just move forward, fat bastard. Anyway, if you need tickets to the Paramount Theater in Peekskill, figure it out. Jesus God Almighty. I mean, if I've got to tell you how to get... I mean, you've got...
Paramount Theater, Peekskill.
We're talking with Steven Zarippa. The book is called A Goomba's Guide to Life.
You know?
So what did you do in Vegas again now? You weren't a mobster, right?
No. I was the entertainment director at the Riviera for years.
Oh.
You know, so you got all this crazy stuff. So one time I have to book these Mr. and Mrs. Easter Bunny, you know, for like Easter Sunday. So they're wearing these huge heads. And I never saw them. They just walked in, like, with the costume and the huge heads. And about an hour later, the guy waved me over. He says, I'm real hot. Could I, you know, there was all kids there. He said, could I get some water? I took him in the back. The guy turned around. The guy took his huge rabbit head off. He was an Elvis impersonator.
Imus in the morning.
You're an Elvis impersonator? He said, yeah, when it's slow, I do Mr. Bunny. And then he says, when it's really slow, I do Roy Orbison.
Turning 80 doesn't mean life gets
Been reopened at Kennedy Airport, but there are still large patches of ice in the right and center lanes. New Jersey buses are on a regular weekday schedule. New Jersey Transit trains have 15-minute delays and are running on a modified Saturday schedule with some extra trains being added during the morning and evening rush. Midtown direct trains are running only to Hoboken. Past trains are running on or close to schedule and are going to New York City. Raritan Valley trains are not going to Hoboken. And New Jersey buses and trains are cross-honoring bus and rail tickets, but this does not include Amtrak. Street cleaning rules are suspended today and tomorrow citywide, but stay off the snow emergency streets. This report's brought to you by Radio Shack. Ever need special batteries, say for a cordless phone? Well, your neighborhood Radio Shack is the place for hard-to-find batteries for just about any device, no matter where you bought it. For hard-to-find batteries, it's Radio Shack. I'm Lori McNichol for the Westchester BMW Fan Highway Patrol.
Andy Rooney this week is making the necessary preparations to bend over and kiss his ass goodbye. Andy?
Well, I'm not quite at that point yet, but close, I guess. I'm just taping up all the points of egress and entry in my office here at CBS. Have you taped up all your points of egress and entry? No, not that point of egress and entry, at least not yet. Actually, it's driving me nuts, trying to keep up with everything Tom Ridge says I've got to do to stay alive at this moment of imminent national peril. I've got my FEMA manual entitled, Are You Ready? A Guide to Citizen Preparedness. A lot of good stuff in here. So far, I've taped up a safe room in my house. But then I got to thinking, what if Osama and the boys hit us infidels while I'm on the way to the office in my car? So I taped up my car windows and doors. Makes it hell to get in and out, though. And people other than Osama bin Laden are ready to kill me at the bank in my McDonald's drive-thru. You know, unpeel the tape, get my order, put the tape back, forget my change, unpeel the tape, get my change, stick back the tape. Well, you get the idea. Yeah. 4 moms in minivans behind me are throwing ricin canisters at my car. Anyway, then the thought struck me. Oh, for Christ's sakes, what if Osama hits while I'm neither at home nor in my car, but at the office? Which is why I'm now sticking this all over the place here. My door, registers, vents, what have you. In fact, I'm starting to wonder if there's a medical malady called duct tape wrist, because I think I've got it. Whoever figured I'd be at such a point in my life anyway? 84 years old, hanging 3-mil plastic drop cloths all over everything, like I'm that friggin' weirdo who hangs crap in trees and stuff and calls it art. Christo, or whatever his name is. There, that'll about do it. Let's see you get through that, Bin Laden, you creep. I feel a lot better. What's next? Oh, yes, water. Secretary Ridge says I'd better lay in about a 5-day supply of these 3-gallon jugs. Or wait a minute, was that a 3-day supply of 5-gallon? Oh, it. Between my office, my car, and my house, I've got enough water on hand to float the SS Nell Carter. And will we ever stop using the poor woman as a comedic reference? What else? Food, non-perishable stuff. Well, I've got a bunch of soup and crackers and junk stashed here on my desk. And Tom says I need a first aid kit. Got it. Though I can't for the life of me see what good a tube of Neosporin's going to do me when a nuclear device has just gone off in the next cubicle here. By the way, I don't hear that well. Are we supposed to be afraid of a dirty bomb or a dirty blonde? Who am I supposed to be watching out for? Osama bin Laden or Courtney Love? Oh, well, to sum up here, I don't know about you, but seeing the way duct tape and drop cloths are flying off the shelves, I'm beginning to wonder who's really behind all of this. The terrorists at Al-Qaeda or Home Depot? Jesus, this is stupid.
26 at the hour here in the Irish Morning Program. We have the America Online Instant Messaging service available here on the Irish Morning Program.
Yeah.
Sponsored, in other words. But you can instant message me at imus@WFAN.com, whatever it is. But don't send me any messages unless they're complimentary, because I'm not interested in hearing.
Why do you want somebody to bring you down?
Yeah.
You know,
talking about me.
They get the blues.
Kissing Dr. Phil's butt, or the.
Is that the nature of them so far?
Or the filibuster from Senator Biden. I like Senator Biden. I like Dr. Phil. And
case closed.
If you don't like them, I don't want to hear from you about it.
No, leave them alone.
Just butt out.
Sure.
God, you people are stupid.
Stop being so negative.
I mean, stop being so damn negative. That's probably you people.
Can't we be happy and optimistic?
Imagine negativity on this program.
What would Dr. Phil say?
Well, here's the thing I'm irritated about is this whole what a sham that Daytona 500 was.
What do you mean?
Well, because they should finish the race. They should figure out a way to finish the race.
Yeah, I mean, saying it's an official race, half over.
I mean, that's just...
How's that official race if it didn't go 500 miles?
And so much happens in NASCAR racing, when they're going almost 190 miles an hour, 3 and 4 abreast, and there's wrecks every 12 minutes or whatever. You know, you got to get through 500 miles, so...
Sure. They got the new rule with a little tiny gasoline tank.
13.5-gallon tank.
Have to pit 95 times. I mean, good Lord.
You know how many miles per gallon a NASCAR gets?
Yes, I do.
How many?
1.2.
No.
1.8.
Between 6 and 7 miles a gallon.
Oh, really?
Not bad, is it?
They get that much?
Yeah.
It's like an SUV today.
Do you know how far it is from the White House to Camp David?
42.7 miles.
Around 60 miles. 60. Do you know who Camp David was named after and who named it?
David Eisenhower, absolutely.
Named it after who?
What?
Well, which David Eisenhower?
The David Eisenhower.
Well, Dwight Eisenhower, the president, named it after his son and his grandson and his father.
Well, okay.
Did you know that?
No.
No, you didn't. Do you know what it was called before it was called Camp David? No, you don't. No, you don't.
Camp Billy?
No, you don't know.
Camp George.
Shangri-La.
Shangri-La.
By FDR. Do you know who designated it?
What are you reading? Well, what is all
I
this?
have some time to kill this weekend.
Well, God almighty.
Now you're killing us.
Between the yacht race?
No kidding. I
watched
go back to Lenny.
I watched the Kate Hudson documentary, whatever the hell it was, on MTV. Part of that.
The what?
Who's Kate Hudson?
She's Goldie Hawn's kid. She's in that movie, How to Lose Somebody in 10 Days.
Yeah.
Documentary on her?
Oh, well, it's not a documentary, but whatever it was, behind-the-scenes deal.
Biography channel or something?
No, on MTV.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
And seemed like a very nice kid. Then I watched that fight between those two guys from Cincinnati who got the hell beat out of them.
Yeah.
Two Mexican fighters out there in Vegas or someplace. I watched the yacht race. I watched Tiger win the Buick.
Yeah. Watch that.
Watched the stupid car race.
Yep.
And then Wyatt and I watched Spirit, Horse of the Cimarron.
Big weekend at the Imus abode.
And I burned about 3 cords of wood.
Yeah, so did I.
And Deirdre's going down to speak at the NIH, which is the National Institute of Health Conference in Washington, next week. I helped her with her speech.
Yeah.
And that was it.
How many times did you shine the weasel?
7.
Yeah.
Really?
That's a big weekend.
That's pretty good.
So that was basically...
Did you shine the weasel while you were watching the yachting event? Well, that would be quite an episode.
Hopefully not while I was watching Cimarron.
I have a boat in the race. So, I mean, I actually am rooting for a boat.
You rooting for...
You know what here's what I've found.
Dear God. What? What?
Here's what I've found in watching sporting events in which I, going into the sporting event, have no rooting interest of any sort, is I find that I automatically, and that doesn't mean that who's ahead or any of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, of course not.
Right.
You bastards.
No, let's hear more of this.
Well, okay. I can go back in my office.
How does your allegiance develop?
Okay. When I turn on a sporting event, I immediately develop an attachment to one of the other participants.
Well, of course.
And I was analyzing if there's a common denominator in all of this.
Yeah, is there?
And it usually,
you ought to hear yourself. You're just such an idiot.
No, I was for a lingy, whatever the hell it's called, a Swiss boat.
Yeah.
Before the first race, when the New Zealand boat nearly sank. And I would point this out to the New England syndicate, or the New Zealand syndicate, whomever put this thing together, that if you're going to spend $500 million on a boat, it ought to be one that won't sink on you. I mean, for Christ's sake, it's a yacht race, you morons. You got to get a boat that you're not. They were bailing water out of it with buckets.
Wouldn't a prerequisite in any boat race be a boat that floats?
Wouldn't you think that?
We got some water in here.
I mean, they weren't. I mean, they've been sailing. They sailed in that luggage cup, Louis Vuitton deal for months. They, you know,
a suitcase would float better.
They'd have been better off in a suitcase.
They would have done as well.
So Alinghi, they won that race because the New England boat damn near sank. And then the second race, I believe Alinghi was leading at the first mark. There's like 5 or 6 marks they got to go around.
Mm-hmm.
And then New Zealand went ahead. And then the guy in the, my man in the Alinghi boat, Coots, whatever his name is, he tricked the other guy and smoked him and won by 7 seconds the second race.
It's the other guy.
And then Tuesday.
What happened Tuesday?
Because they're about a week ahead of us in wherever the hell they are, racing this thing.
Yeah, international dateline deal.
Yeah. They won by 23 seconds, which is huge and pretty huge. Significant. 23 seconds, you're back there on your boat watching the other guy's boat go across the line.
And you still got 23 seconds to get there.
And you got, and that's a long time, 23 seconds before your boat finally floats across the deal, you know.
It's an eternity.
Yeah. And at that point, you're hoping your boat sinks. And it's, you know, so they're going to race 9 times. I mean, they're scheduled to race 9 times. But my boat, Alinghi.
Well, did you see this? Rounding the final mark, Team New Zealand fumbled a jibe. Were you watching then? They were 21 seconds behind then when they fumbled the jibe.
I don't know what that means.
God only knows. I was hoping that you would be able to...
Oh, no, I don't know anything about it.
Allowing a few more waves between it and the leader.
You know.
Idiots.
Well, a couple of requirements I would want to think. One is that your boat floats. You got to float your boat, baby.
Yes.
And whatever you can get to float your boat is what you got to get. If you're going to be in this race, a yacht race, and spend all this money. I mean, they spend hundreds of millions of dollars in these boat races.
And then you got an idiot at the wheel.
And you've got Bo Dietl, you got Brandt at the controls.
I don't see the water, sir. He's fumbling a jibe coming around.
You can't be fumbling whatever that means. I guess getting the sail up or down. Francesa probably knows.
Where's the jibe?
Yeah, I mean, come on here.
Thought you had it. Oh, Lord.
So they're,
I get it done.
They're almost out of it already.
Yeah. It's frustrating. They have to win 5 of the next 6 races.
That's not going to happen.
While Swiss challenger Alinghi needs only 2 more victories.
Now, well, my man Coots at the controls.
Coots.
Or whatever his name is.
Couch or Couch, Coots, whatever.
Because he's driving that boat, and he's figured out a way to get his boat to float. But the other guys
float faster.
Those dumb bastards, their boat almost sank.
Get a patch kit on board.
I mean, honest to God.
I love it. I think the airman has too much free time. He needs to do some shoveling. What makes shovel a driveway or something?
Go see the sun once in a while. Get outside.
Well, build a snowman with the boy. Hey, inch by inch, New Zealand closed in. They almost made a race of it there, dude. Shaving seconds off at each round marking, 20, 17, 15. And had wriggled its way to within a boat length of the lead there coming home.
Who did?
New Zealand.
All right.
But when the wind powered up to 16 knots, what the pundits had expected to happen because of something the way that's designed, didn't happen. That's when they fumbled the jibe.
Well, they got a new thing on the bottom of their boat.
It's a jib, right?
It's a jib.
What?
No, it's a jibe. J-I-B-E.
Oh, okay.
Ain't the jib.
The jib is something else.
That's a sail. The jib is up. I think a jibe is something that when they're tacking, do they...
I don't know.
I don't know.
We need to get somebody to know something.
Somebody needs to call.
Well, now we don't want to discuss anything with any yacht people.
No, but well, hell, let me look at the internet.
Well, why don't you find out?
You're going to show up tomorrow in a blue sports coat with gold buttons on it?
Go to Google.
No, wait a minute. I go to the dictionary.
And find out what these bastards are doing.
Hold on. H-I.
23 till they are.
You and Brown are completely confused. We are confused. You are the one that's confused. We spent the whole day today wrecking the porch over at 4565 Amsterdam Avenue. 4565 Amsterdam Avenue? That's fine. Well, thank you, sir.
That was just great.
Hey, we thought it was a nice job, yeah.
The boat you were supposed to wreck was a six riverside ride.
Life was so busy. Fixing up the house, helping the kids with...
Michigan someplace, yeah. We were talking about Johnny Tampi of Albuquerque, New Mexico a little while ago, and of course, Johnny, is huge on the Big 610 out there, the sports animal. Let me just read it to you. Boxer Johnny Tapia says he won't survive his next brush with death. I don't get no more chances, Tapia said. Next time I die, I'm out. My 9 lives are over. Declared clinically dead for the 4th time in his life last month in a hospital after collapsing at his Las Vegas home. Mr. Tapia is now in a California rehab center for his cocaine addiction. The troubled boxer, in a report to be broadcast Tuesday on HBO's Real Sports, tearfully described a life filled with pain since his mother was stabbed 22 times. I'm surprised that Rick... What are you? Rich Ackerman. What's his name? Ackerman. Rick or Rich? Rich. Yeah, Rich Ackerman doesn't live here. Because he's here all the time anyway, isn't he?
Yeah. He may. Like a bridge troll. He lives under something.
One of these sports update guys who comes on his day off in case,
Hoping somebody calls in sick.
Yeah.
He's got a closet.
I'm here.
Something goes into extra innings or whatever.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Scripts printed out for the next 2 years.
I don't know.
He writes the scripts at home now.
He does?
Yes, he's relieving me here on the local station here.
Right.
So he called me up around in the 6 o'clock hour, wanted some stats from the Knick game last night. So basically what happens, he writes the scripts and he emails them here to the radio station. So then when he comes here to the station, everything is written. He just...
And he still gets here at 6:30 in the morning for a 10 o'clock update.
And the update lasts, what, how long?
About 4 minutes, yes.
4-minute update.
Yeah.
Part of those commercials, isn't it?
Yeah. There's some commercials in there, yes, absolutely. The PSA and the weather forecast.
Right, so they're not...
We can update you
What
on
would be the update on that, Kobe scored, what, 54, whatever he scored?
Yeah, 40 points.
40
the other
points.
night. Allen Houston, 53.
All right.
Knicks won that game.
So you're looking at 90 seconds of content, maybe.
Sure. And the Knicks lost last night to the Portland Trailblazers. 99-91. That was a late game. I'm sure you were not up for that one. But the Knicks did not particularly play well. I was up.
Well, we've given Larry and Rob the day off because Larry lives in Connecticut and Rob lives in Maine.
Yeah.
And I don't have any way to get home. So
you have no way to get home?
Well, I guess later on today I will, but so I could be here for a while myself.
Mayor Bloomberg has urged people.
Right. I mean, you just go right up the corner here. You hop the subway and you're home like that.
Bing, bang, boom.
Man, I mean, really, it is so quick.
And somebody will offer you a seat as soon as you walk into the subway. No question about it.
Just one token to get through.
I'll take a seat.
They'll either offer you a seat or hand you $1. Say, here, get a meal.
I hope he plays a good tune. Oh, God. Another one of these guys is coming on board now.
You guys better leave me alone. I don't need to.
I apologize.
I can just go back to my office and do this.
I apologize.
Hey, do you guys know any Delbert?
Let him lie down. Conventional beers don't say much about you.